What do I mean when I say that? Let's say you want to go to the gym. You want to start working out a little bit more. You go to the gym, you get the motivation, especially when you first go, you're motivated, you're like, oh, I'm going, I feel great. You go, you know you're not going to feel 100% better. In fact, you'll probably feel a little bit worse because you're going to be sore because you haven't worked those muscles in quite some time. But ultimately, you feel better inside up here because you did it, right? You did it. And that you feel that motivation, like, man, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to work out 4 or 5 times a week, right? And you do that. But even when you're enjoying it, there's still that part of your brain that still is trying to talk you out of this. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. I go through this myself consistently. Trying to come up with 1,000 different excuses, right? Oh, I went pretty good last week. I can take a break today. My back is a little bit sore, right? I didn't really sleep all that well. Man, it's a beautiful day out. I'd rather just hang out by the pool. It's been a nice weekend. You know what? I'll go tomorrow. I'll get up and go. And then eventually you just keep coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse. And the reason is because in our minds, we aren't somebody who works out. We see ourselves as that overweight or out of shape person or whatever it is about us. That's how we see ourselves, who wants to start working out more. Instead of changing that mentality into, we are someone who is healthy. We are someone who is consistently goes to the gym. That's what we do. We're not someone who takes days off. And to shift that mentality, it takes a lot of discipline. It takes time. There are some habits that are really hard to break. As I mentioned before, going to the gym is probably one of the biggest ones. Even because I'll tell you, for me personally, even though when I go to the gym, especially if I go early, I feel great. I feel great the rest of the day knowing I went. And you would think that feeling would stick with you, but it's just not enough sometimes. I still will wake up the next morning giving myself 1,001 excuses why I shouldn't go. Sometimes it works, right? Sometimes I convince myself that I don't need to go. And then there's other times I've had to look at myself in the mirror and say, be a little B word, get up and go. And I've done that. I still am someone fighting to shift that mentality that I am someone who works out. I am someone who is healthy. And most people know me.